I'll go ahead and call the Education Committee meeting to order. We have a set of minutes for February the 16th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. If any questions or concerns, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Jeff or whoever.
Okay, I'll start, just give a brief report. We do have budget amendment, we'll go over in a minute, 2 or 3 things. TISA, we do have another estimate, more we're learning about TISA. We're gonna have to develop a budget with a lot of unknown, because that's gonna build that TISA, your funding, till, really until the last day of school. So I just want to make it known, we're gonna bring a budget, but there could be a possibility we have to amend depending on revenues. If they go up, of course, we're gonna budget conservative, but there is a possibility, because it's fluctuating, looks to me like, in the last 2 estimates. And that's gonna be something new with this student funding, when it follows a student, as they go in and out. Looks like your funding,
Right.
it's gonna be up and down, so, but just want to give you an update on that. We are on spring break, of course, we moved our meeting to Monday, so, we will just report on something that will be on Monday. We will be bringing plans for elementary building on Double Log Cabin, first set of plans for the board to look at. For tonight, I have a budget minute in front of me, and I'll turn it over to Lisa and let her explain to you, and we'll answer any questions.
The first one is our Deltec revenue. Basically, we've got revenue that's coming in. I should have highlighted that. I didn't, but it is a revenue account, that top one, and just a related expense account that those will be spent on. The second one, we've had an increase in disposal fees and travel, so we're moving money to those line items out of our teacher line item budget. Third one is retirement stabilization. The employee in there does not have hybrid, so basically we're moving that to just the regular state retirement out of the hybrid account. The next one is just an increase in assessment personnel, taking that out of the supervisor line item. The next one is in credit card fees for our child nutrition, adding that in, and then the last one is setting up contracted services for physician consults on health. It does not request any new money, and this is based on approval by our board on Monday when we have our meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anything on the Hill that the state is voting on right now that's going to have an impact on Wilson County School?
Oh, yeah, we're watching it every day.
Yeah.
Third grade retention, of course, it got pushed next week, and I've seen where they filed a bill, I think, yesterday on that, another one. But they got pushed to next week. Of course, that's probably gaining the most attention. This class size bill, looks like it's moving through.
It's still alive.
It is alive, and the way that's going to work, they're going to push it back to the LEA, let them decide. And then there's something in there, I think the last amendment I read on it, they're going to keep the overall max limit and take away the average on class sizes. And then there is an appeal process to that you could, if you want to go above that. That's better than where it started. It was just going to push it back and let the LEA set it. Of course, I don't think our LEA would be interested in increasing that a whole lot. Another bill that's popped up that we need to really watch, could have an impact, is a mandatory pre-K bill for any citizen that wants it. I've not dug deep into the numbers. The way pre-K works now, we do have a special education pre-K and a voluntary pre-K that is filled for our lower economic students. But if that passed and we've seen a large increase, there's a potential in hiring people and classrooms. So be watching that one real careful, see what happens with that. I know I've talked to a lot of directors, smaller districts say there's no way they could handle it. And supposedly the funding of it will come from the state. Right now, our pre-K is funded primarily through our federal grant, and it does not cover everything that we do. So that's the ones that really got my attention.
You worry about charter schools?
Looks like they keep trying to expand.
You think they expand in Wilson County or?
Well, I think at some point in watching, you're going to see a movement to expand them all over the state. The deadline was February 1 on charter school applications. We did not receive one at this time. But I think in the future, you're going to see that be a real possibility. I did see where I got somebody text me. I think that the bill that would allow guns on schools, I think that died yesterday. That's my understanding. Of course, I've been off in and out and didn't really look at it, but that was my understanding.
Okay. Anything else from any of the committee members?
The mandatory pre-K and the third grade retention, would they both come with state funding or just the mandatory pre-K?
I think that what I've seen on the retention, there is going to be some funding for the tutoring and all.
Would either of those be enough to fund it?
I would think so. We've already done some work on the retention. We've got our numbers, what would happen if they didn't take advantage of it, and how many men. And I think most of our people would take advantage of the tutoring, which is supposedly they're going to maintain that funding for that. And the summer school program. They've told us we can expect that funding to continue. So one more thing that's out there in the governor's budget, that mandate where you got to have your starting pay at $50,000 before he leaves. We're at 41.6, so I think that has to drive our budget process this year. You got to start making that incremental. I don't think nobody wants to wait and try to do it in one, but that will drive our teacher salary.
What do you think about a special census for the county? You talk about all the cities getting ready to do it, but
Just Metro. Is that the one you're talking about, Metro?
I'm talking about to have a special one for Wilson County.
Say Lebanon's getting ready
We
to
do the
do.
line.
What is that for?
We just did.
You get more money from the state, the more people you have, and so all the people that's been moving into Wilson County,
Okay.
for us to capture the additional dollars, we need to put it on the books that they are here.
Did we
Well,
do
some-
one in 2020?
Yes, yeah.
No,
we
but
just
we've had a
did.
lot of growth in the last 3 years.
Did we do a special census or the regular census in 2020?
There's a regular,
Regular
there's
census.
regular
So you
census
do a
in
special
2020.
census once every 10, within the next 10 years. So I don't think we've done one. Lebanon's doing one, and I think Mount Juliet's doing one too.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to watch those two and see what the results look like, and then we could follow up if
Maybe
if
even-
it ends up being, cost effective, because there is a cost to doing a special census.
Maybe even for next year or 2025,
Maybe
Right.
halfway.
because there's a lot.
Yeah.
I know the gross is
Glover, do you
exploding.
know the date that they're doing?
I don't know yet.
Yes, sir.
I know Mr. Luttrell didn't mention it, but I could foresee their budget needing to look at in the safety line. And I would think that given what's going on, and I know some of the plans that other school districts have made and are making, that increasing that part of the budget, at least what comes in from us and to them, is probably something we need to look at seriously. Whatever how they choose to protect their schools. But from weapons detection systems to upgraded cameras, there's different things out there. Partnerships with law enforcement, with canines, there's a lot of talk going on right now across the state with those, and they all cost money. But I'm not sure which comes first, education or safety for our students, so.
Yeah, and we have had discussion recently about the weapons detection system. We've looked at it. We've been shown how it works. And I think that talk will continue. Of course, that'll be a board decision, but that technology is a real possibility, but it does cost, yes.
Do you have an estimate, or at least a
I don't.
ballpark,
I don't.
what you're
I can
talking
Tell
about?
you an exact amount.
I would love just a ballpark, or, yeah.
It's
if you
about
could-
$100,000.
Okay,
Per school.
per school,
Yeah,
Right,
per
for
camera.
one,
per unit.
and then 15
Okay.
or 15 to 24,000, depending on if you're doing a single lane or double lane, but yeah.
okay.
Similar to what you see at Titans.
But then you're gonna have yearly maintenance fees
There
that
is.
every company does now that.
Software fee too.
Well, that's what I'm saying, it's 15 to 25 a year for your license and everything,
Okay,
so.
that gives us
And
an
that's
idea, thank you.
Per unit,
Mhm.
the license and everything.
You have to have staff to run it.
It takes basically two people, and they're already in, generally at the schools, they're already in that location anyway.
So it'd be a back to manages it or.
Yeah, they could be trained on.
But ideally, your SRO will be involved.
Right.
We'll say, because what happens if you come across
Yeah.
a weapon? Right.
That's, every plan I've looked at, that's what I'd feel most comfortable. If you detect, then SRO steps in. Perform a search.
I was thought I'd mention that to Mr. Luttrell, because I know what we're looking at in the costs.
It's a good idea, thank you.
Anything else, y'all?
Motion to adjourn.
All right.